Okay, that's just a cheap trick. D6 is coming next. Your knight's going to be kicked away. Come on. Are you serious? Did you really think I wouldn't see it? Wow, I don't believe my eyes. So today I'm going to be participating in the Live Chess World League, representing U.S. Chess. We have a match today against Romania in the 960 Cup. About 2 minutes till we get started. Let me join in. This is the second week, actually. I missed last week. We were playing Denmark, but the team managed to win without me. Good for them. And today we're taking on Romania. So the first two boards for each team are actually title players. So pretty strong turnout today. So we'll see how we manage to do. I think we should be favorites, judging by the first top 5 boards. But, anything could happen. 960 is pretty wild as it gets. If you're not familiar with it, it's a shuffled starting position. All the pieces are going to be on different squares than we're used to seeing. So, going to be a little bit different here today than normal chess. All right, let's go. I got black here. And I am board 5. Okay, let's go. Time's already running. All right. Yeah, we'll go for the fianchetto setup. So yeah, we got the knights here, both king side. So that should be interesting. Yeah, definitely an awkward setup with all the minor pieces on this side, king and queen on this side. But I think it'll eventually transpose into some kind of Nimzo Indian setup. I was thinking already get the bishop in this way, but it's not really attacking anything, so that's probably not necessary. Okay. Mr. Nico is already burning through his time. Should I make it symmetrical? Yeah, let's make it symmetrical. Why not? They'll probably just move the bishop in, knight in, castle, and we'll see where that gets us. Losing really badly, board 1. Crack lion. Okay, so he's going for a trade, looking to maybe give me an isolated pawn. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. I'm thinking get the knight in here. Maybe I'm going to put a knight here. Try to get a grip. Yeah, okay, he's going to do the same. But because we traded off, I can put my queen here. Okay, he can take here, though. That could be a problem. But then I'll jump in here. Okay. Yeah, let me jump in with this knight. The good thing for him, though, is he can castle. He's kind of a step ahead. Anyone done yet? Let's see. No, everyone's still playing. The time usage is going to be critical here. Less than 10 moves in, he's already used over a minute and a half. Could be a problem for him later on. I think the move here is just castle. I don't know what he's thinking so long about. Yeah, there we go. All right, and now I'm thinking bishop here or bishop here. Hard to say what's really better. I'm going to go bishop here. I just want to watch this in case this opens up with the queen. He'll probably be looking to bring in the rook. I'll just castle. Okay, he develops the queen. Castle. He might look to bring the knight here and just kind of open up this diagonal. That seems to be the game plan. Okay, so I'm going to bring my own rook in. Now this is a threat. He's going to have to look out for that. Okay, that's one way to deal with it. That's actually a really annoying spot for him to put the bishop. It was a good move. I should have probably just brought this bishop out here first. Okay. But see, now I like this. And now this is a threat again. Look at the time. Almost doubling him on time. Okay. He smartly gets his queen out of the pin. And now, let me just make a move like h6. I just want to see what he wants to do here. Okay, he's just going to do the same thing. Okay, knight d7. Let me see if I can trade off these bishops, because this guy is actually... Ideally, I want to double so that I can contest the c-file, but not while his bishop is there. So trading off should be good for me. Okay. I'm a little bit conflicted on who to take with. Let me take with the bishop. It's kind of weird how they have the Romania flag and we just have this US chess logo. Should be an America flag. Okay. Yeah, let's go here. Back to where we were. Now, if he goes here with the rook, there's a little surprise discovery attack. Okay. He's maneuvering the knights. Right now, it's anyone's game. It's very equal, but I have a big time lead. All right, so he's looking to bring in the knight here. I wonder if I can just stop him with a6. Just got to watch out for this pawn becoming weak when his knight moves away. He's taking too long. Okay, yeah, see, this is exactly what I was talking about. Is it worth giving up the bishop to just ruin his pawn structure is what I'm wondering. Let's hold off on that for now. Okay, we have a trade. Still a very cagey game. Not much going on. Some slow trading off. If 2009 is really his birth year, then what does that make him, 11? Pretty good for an 11-year-old. Pretty damn good. Okay, let's see. I wonder if... Yeah, I like b4, actually. Starting to create an outpost for my knight later on. Maybe some kind of rook switch over also could be possible. Okay, so he's moving his rook out of the potential fork after he plays f3, which is smart. So you know what? Let me go... I have an idea here. I'm going to go rook c7 and contest this c3 square, but secretly there's a different idea behind it. Okay, so he's going to let me jump in, so I'll jump in then. And then I'll double in the c-file. Okay, take with the pawn or take with the rook? Let me take with the rook because I feel like a trade is good for me here. And then just bring the rook to c8. And he's going to have to be very careful of this pawn. Okay, let's bring the knight in. Yeah, what I was saying is if I manage to bring my bishop back here, connect with the queen, and hit here, could be a problem. Could be a big problem for him, not for me. That'd be really good for me. Okay, queen f3. He's probably looking to jump in here with a knight. Let me just play g6 just to be safe. This is a really good knight outpost. Yeah, he's already not too sure what to do. The problem is, though, these knights are hard to get past. You know what? Let me try this bishop e8 idea. Okay, so he immediately goes f4, closing down any hopes of my queen getting over that side. But the other idea is to put the bishop here. Pretty good diagonal as well. And then maybe swing the queen over this way, hit this pawn. Okay. Yeah, let me go here. Only thing I gotta watch out for is maybe him creating some kind of counter threat against this pawn. Alright, am I just winning a pawn now? I think so. And I'll take this guy. And I'm holding this pawn. Yeah, this is really good. And he's under 20 seconds now. Still not over, though. Definitely not over yet. But I think c2 is pretty strong here. Because now I'm already looking to bring the queen in. Threaten promotion. Can he really okay, his knight's actually very well placed to defend that threat. But what if I do this? Wow, okay, so our board 3 and 4 both lost their first game. So that puts even more pressure on me to win here. Okay. Maybe just queen b2? I think that's fine. Oh, does he have knight back to d3? I think he does. Okay, but this is just losing. I mean, he does get this pawn back, but I'm up a knight. Shouldn't be too hard to win here, as long as I don't get perpetual checked. Okay, let me go back and put the king here, and this should be just very simple. Bring the queen in. Queen f3, okay. Okay, and let me go to h1 now. Yeah. His queen is just so out of place. It has nothing to do. Nothing to do here. Then I grab this pawn. He's going to try to push e4, but I don't think it's going to help him too much. h4. Now check first. Yeah, this pin is actually really annoying, though. Just got to watch out for e5. Okay, he's not even going to go for e5. I think that was his only hope, to be honest. Let me swing over this way now. Obviously, he's not going to want to trade. I just got to get my king out of that diagonal so my knight can be free. That's the key here. Jump in with a knight. Now this is a threat. Okay, now this is forced to trade of queens. And I pick up a pawn too, so that's game over. He's going to keep playing though, he's a fighter. Unfortunately for him, I do know how to checkmate. King here. Let's see if any other games are done. Wow, our boards 2 through 4 all lost. What a shame. Romania giving us a hard time. And finally, we are going to make a... Which pawn should I promote? G or F? Hardest decision yet today. Oh, okay. He's holding out for the stalemate. Sorry, kid, not happening. Check. And checkmate. All right. Oh, so we immediately play again. Okay. So I get white now. Let me... yeah, I'm actually going to start the same way that he started. But I'm going to play it a little bit differently. Okay. So he's going to go for that c-pawn push. I'm not going to rush in with d4 or c4. I'll let him take the center. But I have a different plan. And by that, I don't have much of a plan here. It's a completely novel position. But if we trade that off, I think it should be good. See if he takes the knight or the bishop. Probably the knight is more natural. Okay, he takes with the bishop, in which case I'll offer him a bishop trade. Okay, he wants a trade only if I take him first. Makes sense. Okay, the problem is this knight has no good place to go. Although if I put it to d3 and then bring it to f4, that could be good. We saw that maneuver in the last game with him. Okay, so our first board tied. So it's really just their first couple boards that are putting up a good fight. Pretty much everyone else on Team USA is winning for the most part. So we're up by 2 points right now. End of the first round. Okay, so he's lining up attack here. Let's take this guy then. Is he going to take with the queen? Then I can just jump in here. Let me do it anyway. And then next is going to be castle, d4. This position, though, I don't like the starting position. Like, it's very limited in terms of the options. Both games are very similar from both sides. Like, the plans are so straightforward. Develop the knight, develop the bishop, castle. And go from there. D4 is, I think, the next way to go here. Although he can block with rook c8. So let me maybe hold off on that. I'm just going to develop the queen first. Because I'm seeing some kind of ideas of maybe knight here and knight here. But of course, you could just play h6. d4, there's rook c8. Let me just prepare for the c file to open up. Okay, he's preparing also. I just wonder if this knight maneuver could be useful. Okay, so here. He's already jumping in with his knight, but I can just kick him with d3 now. And knight g5 after all. Let me just go rook d1. There are also some kind of g3, h4 ideas. Then bring the king to g2, bring the rook this way, and then try to hit him here. But that's a very long-term plan. He's doing much better on time than he was last game. Okay, interesting. Does he want to trade off the bishops? Can I go queen b2? Because now if he takes, I'm going to have a mate threat lined up. But he can put me in a pin, in which case I'll have to play d4. Okay, d4 is. Very even game here, just like the last one. Okay. I like knight takes, or knight takes, queen takes in knight e5. But he could maybe bring his queen into f5. That could be good. I'll probably have to play f3 in that case. Okay, he just opts for queen e6, a little more safe. All right, let me bring the queen to a better place. This is just terrible. Maybe here, who knows? Flexible option. Okay, I think f3 almost has to be played. Actually, can I take on e5? Takes, rook takes, bishop takes, rook takes d5, rook e8. No, I can't. What if I go f4 though? I'm gonna go f4. Solidify this knight here and threaten this, and then follow by this. And who knows, maybe even some kind of pawn storm. Very risky. But he has a lot of pieces on this side, so I'm gonna all of a sudden kind of start to steamroll him. Okay, so our board 3 lost both games. Not surprising considering he is a 1800. How is he? Wait, what? How is he board 3 if he's lower rated than me? I'm so confused. What rating is it showing? Okay, whatever. Queen back. Okay, he sees the threat. G4, I don't know. It's really risky though. Queen a4 or queen a6, queen b5. All sort of valid. I'm going to do something different. I'm thinking of bringing my rook in this way. Start a kingside attack. Although if the center opens up, that could also be not too good. Very double-edged game here because we both have knights in the center. Okay, so he played g6 because he thought my threat was f5. But really, I'm going to go for g4 and then king h1 and rook g1. Maybe. Okay, so he takes the knight. And I'm going to take with the f-pawn. And I'm still protecting everything. But now my king safety is a little bit in jeopardy. Although I have the f-file. So again, there's a plus and a minus to everything. Wow, okay. He's going to contest that way. I don't want to take on passant because then this pawn becomes super weak. So let me take on f5. I'm going to trade rooks. And if queen takes, I have rook f1. And then king h1 after queen g5. Okay, so he's going for a rook trade. See, the problem is my bishop is so out of the game. All right, let me take queen f3. And then take, okay, now, see, now, though, the bishop is opening up. He's going to have to be careful with putting his king on the, that's poor decision to put your king on the same diagonal as your opponent's bishop. Because if everything opens up, he's panicking. He's giving up his queen. I mean, trading queens, but he's going to be down a pawn after I take here. Oh, why didn't I just push? Yeah, what? Why didn't I just push here? I might have been winning if I did that, honestly. Wow. I don't know what I just did. I'm still much better, though. But that could have been winning. He has knight d3, then king g5. Got to look out for knight f3. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I completely squandered this game. Probably still a draw, but... I mean, I could just take this pawn right now and cement a draw, but I don't want to do that. King here. Yeah, it's just going to be a dead draw. Wow. Okay, I'm not playing him again. I lost 10 rating points in that game. Come on. Yeah, let me just look at that, because I should have been winning. We rewind it back to the critical point after a queen trade. Look at that. Completely winning with c6. His knight literally can't stop me because of this pawn. If he goes back here, I just push. And nothing's stopping me from queening. Okay, yeah, that was just a very bad oversight. And even still, I was much better. Let that one get away. But let's see how we're doing overall. We're up by 3. And there's only a couple more games in play, I think. Yeah. Is that it? Okay, I think there's one more game, but that's not going to decide it. Because we already have enough points to win. So it looks like we secured a win against Romania. Really close game. Although there's still the second phase, which is going to be, let's see. Yeah, the rapid. And we're back for the rapid portion, starting in a few seconds here. So for this one, I am the 4th board. And I guess the same guys that were in the Blitz portion did not come back for the rapid because I got a 1600 opponent when I'm 2000 myself. So definitely a gap. I mean, they still have a FM on their board 1, a 2000 on board 2, but then they have a big drop. So let's see how we do in the rapid. All right. Very odd position with the king on b1. Let me just go for e4. We got Catalink, who I should be beating with ease. But let's see how it goes. Alright, so we got some kind of a Philidor setup. Let me just go for what I would normally play. Eventually the king will have to castle this way. Okay, I can just take here, and he'll have to take the knight. He's already losing a pawn on move 3, or move 4. Big pin here. You hate to see it. It's a rough start, my friend. He's going to have to, I don't know, develop his knight this way. Maybe get his queen out of the pin. I'll just take here. Leave him with this weak pawn. And, okay, he wants to trade queens. I mean, I'll take it. Listen, if I can be a pawn up into the endgame, not a bad way to go. Little queenside castle, bishop to c4, followed by bishop to e6. Maybe knight to d4, knight to e6. It's just so easy to play this. I mean, he has, because of this pawn, he has a weakness on his light squares. Here. I mean, I definitely have time to stop and think, but there's just no need to. Alright, looks like we're going to trade off another pair of rooks. But now he has to look out because there's a back rank threat. Knight d6 is probably the best move here. Yeah, knight d6 looks to be his saving grace. Bishop b3. He can't really take here because, oh, I just hung this pawn. Okay, then probably bishop d3 was better. So, the problem is, how do I save these two pawns? I'm just going to gamble and play f3. If he wants to take here, he can. He's probably fine, but he's not even going to. So I'll just go g3 then. And maybe even f4 in the future. I think he wants to play knight a5 and get rid of my bishop. Okay, I can just pick up a pawn here. Actually, I like knight c5 because it threatens this and it also attacks the knight. I could have also maybe taken here with the idea of then taking the knight, but yeah, actually that would have been fine. I don't know why I didn't do that. I can win his bishop now, though. It'll be 2 knights against 2 bishops, and I have an extra pawn. Okay, not f4. Let's go bishop d4. He takes here, I can take here. I'm just so used to playing Blitz at 960, I'm just not even taking my time to think. Yeah, okay, he's going to take, I'm going to take. And now, I like this. Because then it's a fork, I'm going to take the knight, recapture with the rook, and he has to worry about putting the king on a8 was just not a good idea. Because now I take here, and I'm up, what, 2 pawns now? And he can't take here, or he gets checkmated. Okay, he can grab that pawn. Let me just push this pawn forward. And that's e6. Followed maybe by rook d7 and bishop d5. There's just no need to think a lot here. Knight f6, rook f7. And this is looming. Rook f7. And this is a threat, followed by here. Is there any way he can even stop me? He can play knight to d6 next move. But what if I... Actually, knight to d6 just about saves him in every scenario. But let me just play e7 anyway. Actually, after knight d6, rook f8, and bishop f7. Alright. I'll just take this guy. He's managing to kind of weasel out here. And this doesn't win. Does this win? I think this wins. He just let his knight get too far away from the defense of his rook. His rook is screaming for help. No support. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, that's just desperate. That is just desperate. Bishop here wins. Because now he has to give up his rook. Let's see. Yeah. Some of these guys, unfortunately, did not make it. Because Romania did not have as many people show up. But listen, gotta work on your chess, and you'll be able to be in the top 20 or 25, whatever, however many people made it. Once you make them chess gains, then you can never worry about not making it. Okay, wow, look at that. Horrible blunder. Should be still winning though, but wow. I got carried away. Thank God I have an extra pawn. I wonder if I can just trap his knight. He's going to play knight to d1, then b3. I mean, I could pretty much pre-move b3 here. His knight is in a very dangerous territory here. Knight here, king e2. It's like I was completely in the driver's seat, then I blundered the rook, and now it's a game again. If we just go, yeah, like what? Okay, knight here, king here. And now king here. And now knight gets trapped. He should have tried to escape the other way. Then he would have had a chance. Because then if he goes here, king here, but then eventually his knight gets in the corner and it's going to get lost. Alright, double pawns doesn't matter. I mean, my bishop is the same color of the square as where I would promote, so it literally doesn't matter. I could give up my bishop right now and still win. But why give away something for free if you can just keep it? Push it back. Let's push these pawns. Boom. This just reminds me of the ending of that first game. Okay, that's stalemate. You gotta be very careful here. Bishop here. Okay, now check. Checkmate. Yeah, that was unnecessarily complicated. Okay, here we go again. Let's go for e6. And I'm going to go for a Dutch setup with f5, I'm thinking. Unless he plays e4. In which case, I'll play d5. I just like Dutch setups for some reason in Chess 960. Not sure why. It's just cool to have your. I mean, I guess without a king here, it's just not as big of a deal to open up your f pawn. Okay, that's just a cheap trick. D6 is coming next. Your knight's going to be kicked away. Come on. Are you serious? Did you really think I wouldn't see it? D6. And now G6 and G5. Because if I can open up this space for my pieces, it could be huge. I'll have this knight, which currently has nowhere to go. Okay, I could just close his bishop out with f4, but it's just not necessary. Let me instead play b6. I'm going to fianchetto the bishop this way, and then I'm just going to completely control e4. He's going to have to look at like e3 and bishop e2. His position's already very cramped. Like, it's as if I'm playing white. Let's see how the rest of the guys are doing. 8-0. Oh, some people are still playing their first game? Or did it just not update? Okay, it's 12-1 actually. Wow, we're killing them here. Murder. Alright, f3, that's a good move. Let me fianchetto this bishop too. Although, the knight has nowhere to go. But, I'm thinking... Okay, c5 would be a horrible idea. Let me castle this way. He really wants to go... let's just go e5. He still can't play e4 because I have 1, 2, 3 guys on it, and he only has this. He doesn't have enough defenders. Does he not realize that? Or am I just stupid? Well, we're both stupid because he does have enough defenders, but after he takes, I take here. And then he won't have enough defenders. But I just don't know how to count. Okay. Let's take. And then take here. And now it's re-pawn. Only problem is the light squares on the king are weakened. And this is actually a trap. Or no, it's not a trap. Because I still defend... Still defend. Now I'm threatening mate. Yeah, he has to trade. And now I'm just up 2 pawns. It should be a pretty easy victory from here. Let me just make sure the king doesn't get harassed by his bishop. Okay, did I just blunder? Oh my god, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Back-to-back games I'm blundering. Just move the bishop back. What? Okay, I still have 2 pawns for peace, though. Don't count me out just yet. Nope. He has 2 bishops, though. That's going to be very tough to play against. Honestly, trading might even be good for me. Because the 2 rooks and the 2 bishops are going to be really hard to play against. Like, how do I even make progress now? What have I got myself into? No. But you can't let the rook come in. Yeah. Just gonna have to bring the king in this way. Jesus. He's going to want to come here. Definitely. Okay. Not going to give him a pass pawn. The annoying thing is he has so much time, too. Like, he's not going to blunder. He has so much time to think. Knight g8 just goes bishop e6. Oh, but I have h5. Saving grace. I was about to lose a pawn. Now if he takes here, his his bishop hangs. Let me take this guy. Is he going to take my knight? Of course he is. King here. And king here. And who knows? Maybe I can somehow miraculously pull out a draw. Just go a5. Little pawn barrier wall here. He's going to have to try to provoke one of these pawns forward, which is going to leave all my light squares weak. But I can just come in with the king then. I wonder, b5 here or d5? Because if I go b5, maybe bishop d7. But if d5, he doesn't have an immediate reply. I'll just go c5 next. b5, pawn takes, bishop d7. I mean, I could just try to hold this way. He does have bishop e4, though. The good thing is, like, it's not easy for him to get his king through. d5 is coming next. And then king b4. If these two pawns were gone, then I would be 100% drawing or even winning. But I just have to make sure his king doesn't get my pawn here, or else I'm completely done. All right, now again, b5 or c5? I think c5. That's a good move. Yeah, that's a good move. Have to go d4. My king is almost trapped. Okay, am I just losing now? Because his king can just run. But then my king outflanks him. Like if king d3, king b2, king e4, king c3, and then I can push. But yeah, I made a mistake by putting all my pawns in dark squares. They're like Swiss cheese for the bishop to just slice through. Yeah, that's smart. He's just going to wait it out. I'm losing. I am probably losing. The team is not going to lose, but I'm going to lose this one. Once the score refreshes. 2-21. Oh my lord, we're killing them. These guys are still playing their first game. Wow. Alright, king. Oh, okay, he's going to go after this guy? Back to b2. Yeah, I made a mess of this game. Absolute mess. I think that he's overthinking things. He needs to just go after this pawn, grab this guy, and then my whole pawn chain falls. But he's trying to hold on to his own pawns. So somehow I'm holding on. Mostly due to his lack of endgame knowledge. Okay, we're just going to go. Should I sack? Just get back to b4? No, it's not worth it. This pawn is too strong of an asset. He's just afraid that once his king gets here, I can push past him. But he can still stop me with bishop f3. King b5, d3, king takes here, d2, bishop f3. Then maybe I take here. But I think what's going to end up happening is... Okay, he's going for it. So we'll see what ends up happening. We will definitely see. b2. Now I take here, very important. And now I push here, also very important. And now, all of a sudden, I may or may not have some winning chances because he botched. You can never allow me to get two connected pass pawns like that. Wow, I don't believe my eyes. Because now I push here. And now I promote before his pawn even gets close enough. Can I just fork him? Yeah, queen d4. And I'm completely winning. What a choke job by my opponent. Oh my god. I had no business. I mean, I did have business winning that game because I was dominating in the beginning, but for so many moves, he was ahead. In fact, let me prove it to you. Well, I mean, let me rewind back to the point where I ruined my pawn structure here. Yeah, he only has a very slight edge. Only a 1-point edge. Okay, yeah, so this is a mistake. So I think this was the move that I should have made, because now... Okay, that's also a mistake. It's saying take with the king, because then I managed to hold these two pawns together, and then it's not so easy. I can just kind of dilly-dally around with my king, and it's hard for him to make progress. Instead, this is completely... It's showing that he has a +6 edge. Okay, all he needed to do here, after I pushed d4, was do this. Okay, no, that's wrong. What was it that he was supposed to do? Okay, he made the right move at first. Oh, king b1. That's brilliant, because my king is practically trapped. And then eventually he traps me, and I have to give up the pawn. And then he's just completely winning. But even still... Even here, after this whole shenanigan, he takes, and here, bishop f3, he needed to take this pawn, because then I don't get the connected pawns. I take here, but now I go here, and actually, wait, what's the best? Maybe just king here, because he's going to get here and take this pawn, and then once he does... I push this guy, but then he cuts me off. And in the meantime, yeah, he gets this guy, and it's going to be a win from here. Like, my king is just way too far away. He's going to take, and pawn is going to slowly promote, and he wins. Instead, he allowed me to get the connected pawns, and let me see how much the pendulum swung when he did that. It went from +4 in his favor to +13 in my favor, and then to +26 in my favor. Unbelievable. Biggest endgame choke you'll see in a long time. Wow. Just shows you how important endgames are. I mean, he's a decent player, 1600, but that lack of endgame knowledge really did him in. That completes today's Live Chess World League coverage. Looks like we're going to wrap up our win against Romania. We've already beat Denmark last week, and we're playing England next week. So that's going to be the last game of the group phase. And then that'll send us into the knockout phase, where we're playing Mexico by the looks of it. Okay, so that's interesting. And then there's still a couple other nations. Brazil is in here, Uzbekistan. So we'll see how it pans out in the future weeks. Stay tuned.